Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season finale of Season 3 of Bloomington Buddies. Happy finals week to everyone. If you still have finals to take, click off this video and go study. If you're done with them, congratulations. I just finished my Calc 3 final, and I am officially done with Calculus Forever, grade depending. But we should be okay. Should be okay based on that last test. How have finals been treating you, Jackson?
Oh, they've been pretty good. Basically, for me, it's just a bunch of different, final projects I had to revise and stuff like that. I've only got one more exam tomorrow night, I should say. It's a 5:20 to 7:21, which is super annoying, but just about trying to get the rest of it done. So I'm gonna try and after this, I'm gonna try and get the rest of my final projects done and all that, so that's at least out of the way. So.
I told him I didn't want to keep him from studying, but
I don't really need it. That final exam is it's gonna be
what class is it?
It is a crime in the movies class. So literally it's just
that's your thing, bro. You do movies.
Oh yeah, definitely. So it's for me, it's pretty damn easy, so it's gonna be fine.
Jackson has a movie podcast. What's it called? Cinemaniacs,
yeah,
right?
Cinemaniacs. I haven't recorded an episode in a long time, but there's still episodes up there if you want to listen to the past episodes that we've done. So.
Yeah, big movie guy, so I'm sure he'll be fine with that. All right, so no college football really to talk about. I mean, Army beat Navy. That was cool. But so we're going to talk about the NFL because this is the point. I pay attention to the Bears all year, but basically this little pocket of after college football regular season's done, that's when I will actually start paying attention to the NFL. I made the fantasy playoffs in 2 of my 3 leagues.
There you go.
So
there you go.
I will take
Not
that
last.
I've never won a fantasy football league. I started playing with my family in 2014.
Oh Lord.
I've never won a fantasy league ever. So
it's about time. Things change now.
It's about time things change. The bad part is though, in both of the ones where I made the playoffs, I finished half a game out of a bye, and one of them I was tied for the 1 seed. Only the 1 seed gets a bye, but my opponent had more points, and then the other one, I finished 1 game back. I was 10-4, but there were one person that went 11-3, one person that went 12-2.
Yeah.
So. Hopefully we can do some damage. I'll give you one thing. Shout out Brant Begesha. I don't know if he watches the pod, but one of my good friends. He goes to Ball State. We've done our league for 5 years.
Okay.
And he won the league the first 3 years. 3-peat. As the league commissioner, right? Next year, conveniently, his dad was in our fantasy league. I don't want to say I'm good friends with his dad, but he's coached baseball. I know.
Yeah.
He gave me a beer at his grad party. Anyway, so he conveniently wins it this past year, and conveniently gives all the winnings back to Brant. And now Brant's older brother, shout out Brock Begesha, is also in the league this year. And the 3 of them are in the playoffs. His dad has the 1 seed. Brant is the 7 seed playing against 2 seed me. And I put in our little group chat. I was
you're the 2 seed now.
I'm the 2 seed. I put in the group chat. I was like, happy playoffs. As long as someone whose last name is Begesha wins this league, I'll be happy. Because I swear they're colluding, bro. I swear they're colluding. I'm putting that out. I'm calling you out.
Is he still the commissioner?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were going to say he
bro.
Passed off the commissioner job to somebody else, and conveniently he's been losing now. So I thought that's what it was.
I just love that he made it. 7 out of 10 teams made the playoffs, and he's just conveniently the 7 seed. So I think I'm going to have to go through 3 Begeshas to win my fantasy league. I hope at least one of them is watching. I'm coming for that crown. The Dak CeeDee Lamb stack is going to eat. They've been carrying me. My team's really good in this league. I have A.J. Brown. I have Kelsey. I have CeeDee Lamb. I have Dak.
How'd you get Kelsey? Okay.
I took Kelsey with my first pick, and then I took A.J. Brown with my second pick, and CeeDee Lamb with my third pick. My running backs are kind of meh. I have Kenneth Walker, James Cook, and Chuba Hubbard, but they've been getting the job done. And then I have Tyler Lockett as my flex.
All right.
Hopefully we could do some damage. In the other league that I'm in the playoffs, my team's unfairly good. So this other league, it's a keeper league. but we did the original draft this year. And so some people drafted for the future, but like a bunch of people just like drafted. We looked back at the draft. There were some very questionable decisions that were made. But my team, I had Justin Herbert as my quarterback, but he's hurt. So I have Brock Purdy as my backup. I have assembled a team in this league of Brock Purdy, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, Evan Ingram, Devon Achane, and then it's 2 flexes. Devon Achane's my first flex. And then other than that, I picked up Zeke. I still have Jacoby Myers and Deontay Johnson. I don't know who to start at that flex. I think I'm gonna go with Zeke.
God damn.
Because Ramondre Stevenson's hurt, so I think I'm gonna go with Zeke.
All right.
But hold on, let me sub in Raiders defense really quickly because they're playing the Chargers. And all right, that's enough fantasy talk. Let's talk about last week's games for the NFL. I don't normally like to do it throughout the whole season because there are just so many games that don't matter, and college football's more fun.
What was last week? Week 15?
Week 14.
14.
Okay. Patriots over the Steelers, 21-18. The reason this is significant is because the Bears have pretty much locked up the number 1 pick because they have the Panthers pick. And the Patriots and Cardinals were both like right in front of them. Mm-hmm. They both beat the Steelers. Typical Mike Tomlin-led team plays down to their competition. So thank you, Patriots, for that win. The Bucs beat the Falcons to tie up the NFC South at 6-7. I guess good for them. Someone's got to win that division and get blown out by the Cowboys.
I'm a Baker Mayfield guy, man. I think I've said this on the pod before, but it's literally I fucking love Baker Mayfield so much.
No,
I love him.
I like Baker Mayfield.
Like, I'm guarantee you, like if I met him in real life, I'm guarantee you I would just be like, oh, this guy's a dick. But there's just something about him that I just absolutely love.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for the Bucs at this point, which I never thought I would say, given that they had Brady. So
the Bears, 28-13 over the Lions. The Bears are coming around. They've won 3 of their last 4. You look at all those graphics, they say in the hunt for the Chicago Bears to make the playoffs. So a lot needs to happen for the Bears to make the playoffs. A lot needs to happen.
Oh, no, it was muted here. Let me...
I think it was muted the first time when you did it for
I was trying to do applause earlier, so.
Okay. They have Browns, Cardinals, Falcons, Packers, the remaining games.
The Bears do?
Those are 4 winnable games. At the Browns, I think will be the toughest one, in my opinion. But like Cardinals and Falcons, both at home, they can take those 2. They can for sure take those 2.
Cardinals, Falcons, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know.
Montez.
So the NFL is just so weird this year. Like
every team is like 6-7 or 7-6.
Exactly. Like every team is just kind of like right down the middle. It's just like, okay, you know.
I'm more so prepared for next year, but if we could sneak into the playoffs, that'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. We'll see. They need a lot to happen, but great win over a 9-3 Lions team. Bengals 34-14 over the Colts. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the Colts this year are just going back and forth, and I don't understand what's going on. Like last week against Tennessee, it's probably the best win of the season for us. Like such a great game against Tennessee in Tennessee, and now on the road against the Bengals, and we just get absolutely blown out by a non-Joe Burrow team. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
I will say Jake Browning is a dog. He was the QB of Washington the last time they made the playoffs. I told people that, and they're like, how do you know that, you sicko?
The biggest thing for me about the Colts this year that I feel bad is that about Anthony Richardson getting hurt. Like, this year was supposed to be the growing pains year, and we're supposed to, like, okay, it's his rookie year, you know, he's got a lot of potential, he'll get better in the offseason, you know. We're going to have to go through that all over again next year for his second year.
But he looked really good in the games
he was
played.
Really good. Like, that's the thing, is, like, he looked really good is the thing, but, like, at the same time, I just don't see him, like, because next year's going to be his rookie year. Next year's going to be his rookie year. So I just don't see how he's going to, like, absolutely just steamroll the competition and lead us all the way there. I think we can still I think we'll definitely get a lot better next year when he's back if he can stay healthy. But it's just going to, I don't know. Like, next year's just going to be the growing pains year again, I feel like, where it's just like, okay, we're going to win a few games. It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, there's going to be a lot of games to look forward to, you know, but at the same time, we're still going to be, you know, hopefully above 500 by the time that we end next year. So
Almost every year is a growing pains year for the Bears, unfortunately.
yeah, I say this complaining to a Bears fan, so I apologize about that.
Browns over the Jags, 31-27. Joe Flacco, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Trevor Lawrence.
They pulled him out of retirement?
Trevor Lawrence, I have no clue what the fuck he's doing anymore. Like, does he want to be good or does he want to be bad?
I don't know.
Like,
looks like he wanted to be bad that game. 3 touchdowns, 3 picks.
Like, does it... I remember coming into the year, people were saying he was going to be an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
An MVP candidate.
I don't know about that. Definitely not now. Saints over the Panthers, 28-6. That's just a bad team, the Panthers. That's just a bad team. And we have their pick, so haha. But no, my friend is from, shout out Tages, he's from Charlotte, and he's a diehard Panthers fan. And after every week he posts on his story, like, can't believe we lost again, just something to that degree.
Yeah.
Every time I slide up, I go, lol, we have your pick. every time.
It's not even going to be worth it in the offseason anymore because the Bears have their pick.
Yeah.
Like, most teams have that to look forward to. It's like, we're the worst team in the league, but we have the first pick, you know. But, yeah, for the Panthers, it's just it's going to be a rough next couple of years, especially after losing Frank Wright. Well, not losing him, letting him go rightfully. Just... I feel
showing
bad for
him the
man.
door.
I feel bad for him because, like, he's not a good coach. Let's get that out of the way. He's not a good coach, but he also just got dealt shitty hands, it seems like, when it comes to these teams. So
yeah. Jets over the Texans, 30-6. My goodness. I mean, I guess Zach Wilson remembered how to play. CJ Stroud had by far his worst game of his career, I guess, so far, because he's been playing so well.
He, again,
But
like, MVP candidate right there at the halfway mark of the season. Like, he's having an incredible rookie year.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, people were talking about him in, like, MVP conversations. I think it should be Tyreek Hill who wins MVP, just because I think he's the best player in football. But
it's not even like... it's not even like it was CJ's fault this game. I mean, no interceptions or anything, no touchdowns. Obviously, that's the big red flag.
You can't be going 10 of 23 passing.
But yeah, 10 for 23. I mean, just 91 yards. It just wasn't good all around for him. I mean, again, no interceptions or anything, but I mean, it was just like, you got to do better, man.
Yeah. Ravens over the Rams, 37-31. This came on after the Bears game, so I watched the end of this game. This is a crazy ending to this game. The Rams go down and score with 4 minutes to go up 28-23. Lamar Jackson drives the Ravens all the way down. Zay Flowers gets a touchdown on like 4th and 20 to go up 31-28. But then with like a minute left, the Rams get a field goal. And then so it goes to overtime. In overtime, backup punt returner Tylan Wallace, 76-yard punt return. He broke like 3 tackles. It was a crazy return. Ravens are now 10-3 and hunting for that 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah.
So good for them. Next we have just a pitiful, absolutely pitiful game. If you went to this game, I am so sorry that you willingly spent money to watch the Minnesota Vikings beat the Las Vegas Raiders 3-0. I mean,
worst game in the NFL. Like,
that was just awful. And plus, I was rooting for the Raiders too because we could use a Vikings loss to help us. But I mean, Aiden O'Connell putting up a whopping 0 points, and yeah, I mean. Every single drive ended with a punt besides like 3 of them.
Joshua Dobbs, 10 for 23, 63 yards.
He got benched for Nick Mullins, and it looks like Nick Mullins is going to be the starter. I love Josh Dobbs. He's like my favorite quarterback in the NFL because, you know, Tennessee guy, and I grew up watching him playing for Tennessee. So I love Josh Dobbs, and I've been telling people he's like a better QB than Caleb Williams. And then he just went out and did that.
Oh, my God.
I was getting proved right for a while. But
that just shut the argument up forever there.
Yeah. Ugh.
And Aiden O'Connell on the other end of the field, 21 for 32, 171 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah, just a pitiful game.
Worst game I've ever seen in my life.
Here's the thing, though. You love to win a game like that, though.
And
like, I would love to win a game 3-0 if I'm a Bears fan.
But it's like zeros throughout the entire game. The entire game up until the fourth quarter.
This was football in the
0 game.
In the 20s, that was football. Like, every game ended 3-0.
Welcome to the 2020s.
2020.
So, where that's not how the game is played anymore.
49ers over the Seahawks, 28-16. I think San Francisco's probably the best team in football, in my opinion.
Probably, yeah. I think that'd be a safe bet.
I mean, Big Cock Brock is just slinging the ball everywhere.
It's one way of describing it.
And he's got McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, and, like, they're just a really good team. Defense is still insane. Bills, Chiefs.
Controversy.
Let's talk about it. So the Bills came out not playing any games, up 14-0 out of the gate. Eventually, Kansas City ties it up, but Tyler Bass gets a field goal to make it 20-17. And then with the Chiefs driving, with the game on the line, Mahomes hits Kelsey on a seam, 30 yards downfield. Kelsey turns around, lateral throws the ball, perfect spiral to Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney actually catches the ball for the first time like in ever and scores. Flag on the play, and you look at it, and Kadarius Toney is lined up offsides. His foot is on the line. He's very clearly offsides. And so, of course, the Chiefs eventually do not score. The Bills come away with a big upset win on the road in Arrowhead. And
Mahomes just loses his mind.
Just
loses his mind.
He's slamming his helmet on the sidelines. He's crying up a storm. He goes to shake Josh Allen's hand, and he's like, "Fucking bullshit, man! You fucking offside!" Like
he wasn't saying it to Dobbs like, "This is your fault" or anything like that. Like, he was just more saying it like, "Hey, you had a great game, man. Can't believe that happened. Like, offsides on offensive offsides. Are you fucking kidding me?" You know, like, that was the kind of thing that he was saying. It was just crazy to see him like that, because Mahomes is never like that, like, ever. He's never, like, lost his mind like that. He's never, like, acted out or anything like that before. It's just crazy to see him do that, you know?
Well, people, what's it called? They lost to the Packers the last week, and that was a game where I thought they had a legitimate argument with officiating, because Marquez Valdez-Scantling in his Green Bay homecoming game gets, like, completely tackled on his route. And that was a game where I thought that was, like, a legitimate complaint. But then they're like, look, he's offsides. He lined up offsides. You can't do that. And, like, they're like, well, in this play in the first quarter, Von Miller was lined up offsides, and they didn't call it. And every Chiefs fan's trying to look at every play from, like, every single game. It's like, tough. Can't line up offsides.
Yeah, the big thing that they were arguing was not the fact that he was offsides, because he was. What Mahomes was arguing about, and Andy Reid were arguing about, was just simply the fact that the referees never gave him a warning that he was offsides. Because apparently, like, what can happen is, like, if you're lined up offsides before the play starts, the ref can kind of, like, give him a look.
They do
to
that
be like, you're offsides, get back on side.
They do that in IU flag football. Like, they're like, hey, get on sides. But, like, he was so clearly offsides. Like, and you can't do that.
So that's what Mahomes was so mad about. It was the fact that, like, they threw the flag without a prior warning or anything. So That's what he was getting so mad about. It wasn't the fact that he was offsides or anything. He just wanted a warning so his player could get onsides. So, I mean, Mahomes was out there blaming the referees for this entire debacle, when really he should have just been blaming his own teammate. Just like, yeah, he wasn't onsides. It sucks.
You could look to the side and see where the ball is. Like, come on, man.
Like, it was a very easy solution, and there was a very easy person to blame. But good on Mahomes for sticking up for his guy. Like, I'm sure he just didn't want to create, like, chaos and, like, toxicity in the locker room, But still, I don't think you need to go just absolutely crying, but, like...
Cry, but cry.
Yeah, he did. But just... to take it to the level that he did, I don't think that was necessary.
It's like the Chiefs... The refs, like, give them so many calls, like, every game. Like, people are like, the one game they didn't, like, gift wrap the Chiefs. And I'm not saying that, like, the refs give them every game, but, like, Mahomes definitely has been the beneficiary of some favorable officiating.
Definitely.
So, they are now only one game ahead of the Broncos for the division lead, which is crazy.
They're,
to think about.
8-5? Yeah.
Speaking of Denver, they beat the Chargers 24-7.
Denver's the weirdest team in the NFL.
Like, that's just crazy that they're in the playoff hunt. Like, that's just wild to think about.
Denver is the weirdest team in the NFL.
Johnny's a real big Broncos fan, so shout out Johnny. What else do we have? Cowboys absolutely took the Eagles behind the woodshed and just gave them a beating for 3 hours. That was just not an enjoyable game for Eagles fans. Just not at all.
Is that their second or third loss?
The Eagles, that's their third because they got stomped by the 49ers the week before. So I think the Eagles will be fine. Like, they were 10-1 for a reason. Yeah, you're going to lose some games every now and then, but I think they'll be better come playoff time. This is a team that's, like, built for the playoffs. They have a good defense. Like, I wouldn't be worried if I'm...
This is the slump section of the season, I feel like, for them. And so I agree. I think that they'll be better by the time playoffs come around.
Yeah. Monday night, I'm going to start with Packers and Giants. Tommy Cutlets stands on business. I adore Tommy DeVito. What a dog. What an absolute dog. Came in as the third string QB. Had to get put in because Daniel Jones and Tyrod Taylor got hurt. And he's rattled off 3 straight wins. He hasn't even thrown a pick. He's a dog. Like,
don't jinx him, man.
I'm just so glad he beat Green Bay because I just cannot stand Green Bay. Not at all can I stand Green Bay. And the Bears are only one game behind the Packers now for that last playoff spot. There are like 4 other teams that are also competing for that spot. But the Bears are one of them. And that was just a huge win for the Bears' playoff hopes. And just because we hate Green Bay and always want to see them lose. But shout out Tommy DeVito. Jordan Love sucks. Let's move on to Titans-Dolphins. I actually turned this game off and watched the end of the Packers game. What the hell happened at the end of this game? The win probability chart is like... That's literally what the win probability chart looks like. Because this was a tie game, 13-13, and then Tennessee muffed a punt. They muffed a punt. And so Miami got it on their, like, 10-yard line, scored. Next possession, they throw a pitch to Derrick Henry. It's, like, way behind him. Dolphins set up again in the red zone. They score again. And somehow, Will Levis drives down, scores with 2:40 to go. They go for 2, they get it. So now it's a 6-point game. They get the ball back, and they score again. Kick the extra point and win. I don't even know how that happened.
Weirdest game. Like, I didn't catch much of this game because I'm with you. Like, I just thought the Dolphins were going to kind of steamroll them, really. So it just...
Well, I turned it off when they went up 2 scores with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, it just... super weird. Like I said, that's kind of the epitome of this entire NFL season is, like, nobody knows who's good anymore. Like...
Yeah.
There are some teams that are kind of above average, and then everybody else is just basically like, or they suck. So
I would say, like, here, I'm going to go to standings for the NFL. I clicked on schedule on accident. God damn it. All right. There are 1, 2, 3. Actually, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 teams that I'm going to consider elite. Okay. That is the Dolphins, despite that loss. I'm going to say Dolphins, Ravens, Cowboys, Eagles, 49ers. 5 teams that are elite. Bottom feeders are Cardinals, Panthers, Commanders, Patriots. Other than those 5 and those 4, it's everybody else.
It's just
everybody else.
It's like the whole rest of the league is just like they're fine, I guess. Like, and that's it.
So let's look at playoff standings.
So weird to see the Bengals in last place.
Yeah. AFC. Ravens have the 1 seed. And then Miami is now a game back of the 1 seed. And then the Chiefs and Jaguars are your 2 other division leaders. The Browns hold the top wild card at 8-5. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams at 7-6 that are fighting for the last wild card spot. Those 7 and 6 teams are Pittsburgh, Indy, Houston, Denver, Cincinnati, Buffalo.
I was gonna say, like, I've never seen so many 7-6 or 6-7 teams in my entire life.
That's what I'm saying. So, I think those top 5 are pretty much in the playoffs. Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs, Jaguars, Browns. Of those 6, who would you pick to make the playoffs?
Out of all the teams that are 7-6,
Yeah. I'm not taking Pittsburgh. Absolutely not. Not with Mitch Trubisky as their QB and how they play down to their competition. Absolutely not.
for me, I feel like it's a toss-up between Cincy and the Texans. I want to say the Colts, obviously. I just don't know if Gardner Minshew is that guy that can lead us to a playoff, to a wild card spot. Like, I really don't think he's going to be able to do it. Even after that win against the Titans, it's like, okay, I don't know what to say. I never know what to think about Gardner Minshew. But I would say probably the Texans, just because of C.J. Stroud's incredible year. I mean, I hate C.J. Stroud because of his history at Ohio State, obviously.
And now he's in the same division as the
Exactly.
Colts.
Now he's in the same division as the Colts, so it's like fucking great. But I would probably have to say the Texans because I think C.J. Stroud is still going to play at the elite level that he's been playing.
I thought you were going to be like, did you know C.J. Stroud never beat Michigan? That's it's fun. But
I'm not that guy. Come on.
I'm going to say you are that guy. I'm going to say Bills. I got Bills. I think they'll find a way. NFC. San Francisco has clinched a playoff spot, like officially. Cowboys are right behind them. And then it's the Lions are leading the North. And then the NFC South is just anyone's game. The Buccaneers, Falcons, Saints are all 6-7. The Bucs, I guess, currently lead it.
Let's go, Mayfield.
And then Philly as the first wild card at 10-3. It's gonna be Philly or Dallas that gets that first wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota somehow is at the 6th spot at 7-6. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that are 6-7. 2 that are 5-8. Only 1 game back. The Bears and the Giants. The Bears and the Giants, I think, both need to win out. I saw this. If the Bears win out, they have a 63% chance to make the playoffs. So even if they do win out, they're not guaranteed a spot.
Wow.
But Green Bay, the Rams, the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Saints are all sitting at 6-7. If you throw in the Bears and the Giants in that conversation, I think the team that I would have getting the last wildcard spot is Seattle. I think they're the best overall out of those teams. Because I don't think they have to play San Fran again.
Yeah.
They have a tough schedule. They have Eagles, Titans, Steelers, Cardinals. It's just going to come down to who has the easier schedule. I don't know.
Really? Yeah. You're not gonna like it, but I think maybe the Packers probably. Well, the Seahawks are still.
I don't know.
I never know.
The Rams have Commanders, Saints, Giants, and then they play San Fran the last week of the year. The Packers play. Who do they play? Bucks, Panthers, Vikings, Bears for the Packers. I don't know. It's all gonna fold out itself. I don't care. I don't care. It's why I don't talk about the NFL like all year. I don't like talking about the NFL like that much in detail.
All right, let's move on.
I don't hate the NFL. I like just follow the Bears, but like it's just like sometimes really boring to follow other teams. I like follow the Bears, my fantasy team. But, like, other than that, it's like, wow, they're all mid. They're all mid. Like, some of these games just don't matter. All right. But, like, this is the time of the year where I start to pay attention to the NFL. I know I said that earlier.
Yeah.
Let's talk hoops. Let's talk hoops.
College or professional?
We can do a little NBA.
We can do a quick recap of stuff.
Quick recap of the NBA. They rigged the in-season tournament for the Lakers. The Lakers beat the Pacers in the in-season tournament championship.
Very, very, very proud of my Pacers. Did not think this is how this year would turn out, but
Pacers.
That's fair. I forgot about that.
Our Pacers.
Halliburton, you're my fucking hero. I mean, literally, the championship of the in-season tournament was just super weird because like it would go back and forth between the Pacers are only down 2, you know, like let's get a streak going, Halliburton, and then it was like, oh shit, we're down by 20. So it was like this game's over now. Like it went back and forth like that the entire game, and Anthony Richardson finally decided to be Anthony Richardson like he's supposed to be, and you know, got 40 points or something like that. LeBron
Anthony
got 40
Davis.
Points.
You said Anthony Richardson instead of...
Did I say Richardson?
Anthony Davis.
Oh, Anthony Davis. Jeez, yeah. Why did I say... Okay, but yeah. Anthony Davis, just finally decided to be Anthony Davis, and he's supposed to be, and gets 40 points or whatever he got. I don't even remember. But
he was like the first Lakers player with like a 40-point triple-double since like Elgin Baylor or something. I don't know.
But honestly, didn't really matter. I mean, the final game in the in-season tournament ends up not even mattering in the regular season. So it's just a fun scrimmage, I guess, you know. So it's like, all right, whatever.
Team that loses, it's just a scrimmage.
Yeah, except the winner is just like, we get like $1 million each or something like that.
I think it's like $500,000.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Did you know that LeBron now has 4.5 rings? That's what I've been here. People, they're like
4.5.
How many in-season tournament championships does Michael Jordan have?
I don't see any.
I don't see any. Yeah, the Wilt is still the GOAT. That's a conversation for another day. That's my like deepest held hot take. Is that Wilt is the GOAT of basketball?
I know. I remember you and Eddie having a lot of
NBA
heated debates
record
about that.
NBA record.
I feel
for
like
the most NBA records.
I feel like at the end of the year last year, like you guys kept doing we kept doing polls last year and drafts at the end of the year last year. And like I feel like we kept going back to that argument so many times. Is Wilt the greatest of all time?
We had a class. It was just called Sport Media and Society. And it was like a whole lecture hall, but you got to put like answers up on the board. And one of them was like, who's the GOAT? And I put Wilt. And some guy goes, nah, who said that shit? And I was like, me. He's the GOAT. They're like, defend. And I was like,
defend.
I was like, NBA Eddie was in that class, by the way.
Yeah.
I was like, NBA record for the most NBA records. They're like, but who did he play? He played against bums. Like, shut the hell up. They had to change the rules because he was so good. Like, I don't know. No one can convince me otherwise. My other point is you look at every NBA champion ever. Every NBA champion ever. There was one star on the team, pretty much, with 3 or 4 other, or at least one other really good player. Mm-hmm. There is only one person to ever lead a team to a title single-handedly. And it's Wilt with the Philadelphia Warriors the first time he won a finals. People have tried to say like Dirk and the Mavericks. I'm like, they still had Jason Kidd and like a bunch of other players. You look at the people that Wilt played with and that brought to a title. Like people talk about how LeBron led a bunch of bums to the finals. Look at that team that Wilt won a ring with. I'm going to bring this up. Hold on. I can't remember the year, but...
But I'll distract real quick while you pull it up. Just to go back to the Pacers again real quick, I'm very confident in the Pacers this year. Like, I had no expectations at all coming into this season, but we've got such a young and hungry team this year. It's so exciting to see. We've beaten the Bucks twice. The Bucks are in third place, so we've beaten them twice. We've beaten the Celtics once. I don't think we've played them other than that. Lost to the Magic once this year, but I mean, the way that this team is progressing and the way Tyrese Halliburton is improving throughout this entire season, I'm so fucking excited for the Pacers. Like, everyone looks so good and everyone is very fired up. Like, yesterday's game against Detroit, like, it's not a big deal because it's Detroit and everything, but at the same time, it was like that team could have really let the loss in the in-season tournament get to their head, but they've just continued to steamroll. I think they're the highest scoring team in the NBA right now. Like, they average like 120 points a game or something like that, you know? So it's insane. And it's just so fun to watch. Not including the in-season tournament, they're on a 4-game win streak right now. So it's just so much fun to watch them. They've got the Bucks again tonight. I'm looking to see if they can kind of sweep the Bucks this season. Like, that'd be so cool.
I'm too deep into Basketball Reference, but there were some other decent players, I guess. I've never heard of any of these players, but they had good stats. So I will concede that argument. But Wilt's still the GOAT. They had another guy averaging 20 points a game, whoever the hell Hal Greer is.
No matter how many times I debated in my head, every single time I watch The Last Dance, I'm like, no, Michael Jordan is undoubtedly the greatest of all time. He is undoubtedly the GOAT.
I think LeBron's better than Jordan.
No.
No. I don't think it's really worth arguing because, like, no one's going to change their mind.
No one really will.
But that man took a team of bums to the finals, like, twice.
Well, so did Jordan, though.
Not all the way to the finals.
He picked that team all the way and brought them all the way back to the
he also had Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman.
In the early years, in the first three-peat, basically all he had was Scottie. I mean, obviously, they had Horace Grant, you know.
But Scottie Pippen's like a top 20 player.
But Jordan was able to bring the Bulls into the limelight with just himself. You know, he was able to bring the team into a team that people should care about. He brought them to the playoffs single-handedly.
There was one stat. It was like the Bulls' first season after Jordan, every team with their star, their first season when they left. And it was like the Bulls won like 50 games his first season after. The Cavs went from going like, I think it was 62-20 to 20-62 their first year without LeBron. I think that's a stat that no one talks about enough in that debate. All right, let's talk college hoops because that's where I shine, is talking about college hoops. Do we dare talk about the IU game? Like, oh my God.
It's a very touchy subject right now, I would say. But I mean, it's
fuck, man.
This team is starting to show their cards, like, in a way that I think is appropriate. Like, I didn't really have too much hope coming into this team this year, you know, because I mean, even with our two best guys, even with our 2 first-round draft picks, like, we got pretty decent. It was a decent season, you know. But I mean, without those guys, like, it's not
without Trace and
Jalen. Without Trace and Jalen, it's like there's not much to hold on for right now. I mean, clearly we only have 2 losses, so I mean, it's like
people are freaking out.
People are
7-2,
7-2, but when you got the toughest team in all of college basketball coming up this Saturday, it's hard to be optimistic about that kind of a game. And then right after that, it's Morehead State, North Alabama, and like
they'll win all those games. But
we'll win those games, you know. But I mean, when it comes to actual true competition, I'm not sure how far this team can actually make it.
All right, if we're gonna talk about the actual Auburn game, the first 10 minutes, 8 minutes, first 8 minutes, the best 8 minutes I've seen IU play this whole year. This whole year, I've watched every game. I've either been at or watched on TV every game so far, I think. I didn't watch the Harvard game. I was driving home. I was checking the box score, but other than that, I've watched or been at every game. That was the best 8 minutes I've seen them play all year. They hit 4 threes in the matter of 4 minutes. They were they were doing everything right. Everything right. And then in the almost the blink of an eye, they went from up 12 to down 20.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how the fuck did this happen? They hit 4 threes to start the game, didn't hit another one all game.
Yep.
All game didn't hit another one. I think the offense in general wasn't bad. 76 points, you can win games. A lot of games.
Honestly, yeah, the offense wasn't really bad at all. I totally agree with you on that. I mean, the only offensive person that I want to yell at right now is Trey Galloway.
Holy cow,
Trey,
pick it up, dude.
What are you doing? How the hell is Gabe Cupps nearly doubling the number of points that you have in a game?
This is the first game I actually saw Gabe Cupps try to score.
I was
seen
kind of
Gabe Cupps.
surprised. Gabe Cupps, I was like, this kid could actually score the basketball.
4 of 6 shooting, 11 points. I'll take that out of my defensively first point guard.
Yeah, out of Gabe Cupps, honestly, I'll take it. Who Gabe Cupps is as a player, I'll take 11 points. But for Trey Galloway, 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. That's it.
3 of 5 shooting. He didn't take a 3. He's scared to shoot. He's scared to shoot. He is. You watch him, he's scared to shoot. He just is. And that's got to change. Have him, if he's open, take the 3. He needs to see the ball go in the net, for Christ's sake. CJ Gunn was back to being abysmal. Holy cow. There was a sequence. Oh, my God. There was a sequence where Auburn scored. Auburn was pressing off the inbound. They would press, but then if IU got it, they would just back off. But they kept doing that. And there was a possession where CJ Gunn allowed his man to score, fumbled the inbounds pass, let Auburn score. The inbound right after that, he pushed off the guy and got a foul. There was a 3 possession stretch where it was all his fault. So he had a great game against Michigan, back to being just abysmal. I hope that he finds his Michigan that previous game's form. Peyton Sparks just was bad. I mean, he just played bad. Renew 6 of 13 shooting. Khalil Ware only shot 2 of 8 from the field. And, that just has to be better if you're, 7 feet tall. You got to be shooting better than 25%. That's just unacceptable. The defense, though, oof, Marone. Auburn was, lightning hot on offense. IU, no matter what defense they played, they were going to lose that game.
Jalen Williams, 24 points. Aiden Holloway, 24 points. It's... Denver Jones, 12. Katie Johnson, 14. I mean, it's just...
When you have, 3 guys shooting...
insane.
4 guys. They had 4 guys shooting a 50% clip from 3. You're just not going to be the team that's doing that. But you can try to not give up 100 points. God damn. They have Kansas at home this Saturday.
Biggest game of the season, undoubtedly. For IU fans, biggest game of the season.
Here's the thing. If they win this, they prove all the doubters wrong. They'll be ranked. I assume they'd be ranked.
I would hope that they'd be ranked after beating the number 2 team in the country.
But, here's the thing. The game is at home. And we could beat anyone in the country at home. I'll stand by that. We could beat anyone in the country at home, no matter how good we are.
Because despite the team... It is one of the toughest places to play in the country.
I think the only harder place to play is at Kansas. That's the only other environment that I could even think of.
Probably.
Cameron Indoor Stadium is the most overrated arena there ever was. Mackey's hard to play at. UNC's hard to play at. But in terms of rowdiness of fans, I'll put IU up against anyone. And they have a week to... So does Kansas. Kansas also has a week to prepare this game. But so does IU. The fans are going to come out with the energy. It's going to be a stripe out.
Do you think...
That's fun.
Do you think it's going to be booked? Completely sold out?
Gotta be.
Because that's kind of what I think. But at the same time, it's also it's the day after finals are done. It's the day after finals are done. So it's how many students are really going to be there.
So here's the thing. So you could put in a request for tickets because like they didn't put it on the thing. I did, and I didn't get them. So I'm assuming enough. I bought them. I bought tickets online anyway because I'm going to the fucking game. But if enough people bought them to where I didn't get, I'm assuming people are gonna go. They gotta go. If you got tickets, you're going. Like,
again, biggest game of the season is this Saturday against Kansas.
I mean, we're still first in the Big Ten. I'm clinging on to that. We're 4-0 at home. We're 2-0 in the Big Ten. Northwestern, Illinois, Wisconsin are all 1-0, so they can all tie us. But everyone else is pretty much 1-1, except for Michigan State, who is 0-2 in Big Ten play. My goodness, have they been bad? They're 4-5, losing record. Like, talk about IU all you want. We don't have a losing record.
We don't. We don't.
They're giving us a 33% chance to beat Kansas. I think that's fair.
I would say so. Because, I mean, like you said, I mean, the environment itself is going to be the hardest part for Kansas, is having to adjust to the environment, adjust to these fans. Because, like, despite what the team is, there's going to be rowdy fans at an IU game.
Yeah.
There's going to be very rowdy fans.
I'll get another thing. Kansas hasn't played a road game yet this year.
Okay.
They played in the Maui tournament, which is in Hawaii, which like you could call that a road atmosphere, but like it's half Kansas fans, half everyone else. So.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not playing a team that hasn't, like, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
So haven't played a road game yet. We'll see how they do it against that. I'll give you a funny little thing. I was at the Big Ten tournament with my friend Maddie. She goes to Purdue. So we went the semifinals, the day Purdue played Ohio State, the day IU played Penn State. And this guy's like, I've always wanted to go see Purdue. Great arena. I don't care for Assembly Hall, though. And I go, wait. I'm like, why not?
What?
I'm like, why not Assembly Hall? He's like, oh, because you guys you cry whenever the team loses and you're so, he's like, it was something of like they're too disrespectful or whatever, and like Purdue fans have more class, and I'm like, all right, we don't want you there, buddy. Like, back off. But
it's the only thing that IU has. I mean, sure, we've got Coach Sig now, but like,
Sig.
Coach
Sig.
Basketball is our big thing, So like, we're gonna get fucking hyped about basketball.
Yeah, I
don't think we have no class. I would have highly.
I saw Purdue's little student section sheet of like what they chant, and it was something along the lines of like, we don't swear or whatever, and like we're respectful around here. I'm like, what a bunch of nerds! Holy cow! Whereas like every single like
I thought you were gonna be like, what a bunch of fucking nerds! God,
what a bunch of nerds, man. Anyway, but like every single time there's like a slightly bad call, the bullshit, like at IU. So
I love that call. Like, I love it because everyone does that, though. I love it when that shit happens. Just bullshit.
But like at Purdue, they're like, no, we don't swear around here. No manure chants. And I'm like, all right. Whatever.
Manure chants.
That's what people go. I picked up one of the Michigan sheets after I left. I picked up like 5 of them. And they were like, it was like Mackenzie Abaco arrested at Taco Bell or whatever.
I heard,
They had like a bunch of them. But
you want to talk about class? That one's a low blow, I feel like.
But like, IU fans would like we chanted DUI at Mason Gillis. Like, you got to, man. All right, do we beat Kansas? Are we winning this game?
I'm gonna say no. I think it'll be
inclined
closer,
to agree.
I think it'll be closer than what people are gonna think.
If they like,
just because of the atmosphere alone, like people are gonna be doing the candy stripe out, like it's gonna get hyped in there. I don't think we're gonna win, but because I don't see Gabe Cupps taking down the Kansas Jayhawks. I'm sorry, but.
Yeah. DeJuan Harris got another thing coming for him in Gabe Cupps. If we keep this game, like, within 10 the whole game and, like, it's a hard-fought game, like, I'll be happy. If we, like, could go toe-to-toe with the number 2 team in the country, like, I'd
feel better about the state of the team if they can do that.
I'll feel confident going into Big Ten play. because the Big Ten sucks this year.
Yeah, like if we can, I agree. If
The Big Ten has not looked very good.
I think I agree with you on that. If we can at least keep it relatively close for this game, I'll feel better. Like, even if we're at home, whatever, okay. But if we can keep it relatively close, I think I would feel better about the state of the team. Just because, in the end, like you said, we're still 7-2.
Yeah. Like, you want to compete with the best of the best, you got to, like, go toe-to-toe with Kansas. But, like, the only teams in the Big Ten that are really playing well are, like, Northwestern, Illinois, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's been playing. I've been impressed with Wisconsin.
Northwestern beating Purdue.
Northwestern, and then Purdue's playing well. But, like, all these other teams, like Ohio State, Nebraska, Minnesota, Maryland, Penn State, Michigan, Rutgers, Iowa, and now Michigan State with how bad they're playing. Like, I would put IU against, like, any of those teams, home or away, and say we could win that. We already beat Michigan on the road.
That was a good game. That was a great game.
Yeah.
That was probably our best game that we've had this season was the win over Michigan.
That was definitely the best win we have. I think the best overall game we played was the game against Maryland.
That's fair. I was at that game. That was a great game.
All right, let's talk about just some games this weekend, and then I'll leave. Because there are some really good games this weekend. So Saturday, other than IU Kansas, the Indy Classic. Before the main event, we got Ball State and Indiana State in Indy. Who we got there? I do want to talk about this game because I think it's gonna be a good game.
Go ahead and give your take first.
Ball State 8-2, Indiana State 9-1. So these are two teams that are playing really, really well. People have been loving Indiana State this year. They have like a really high efficiency rating. They gave up 102 points to Alabama, but like they haven't lost since that. They're favored to win this game. Who cares? Chirp, chirp. Go Cards, baby.
Chirp, chirp.
Go Cards. I got a lot of friends who go to Ball State. So go Cards.
I feel like I would have to go with the hype. I mean, Indiana State's they're not bad.
Yeah.
They're not bad this year. So
we support the smaller schools in our state. Like, I don't care for Purdue or Notre Dame, like, at all. At all. But we like Ball State. We like Indiana State. We like, can take or leave Butler, but like we love our small Indiana schools.
We like our little brothers.
Baylor at Michigan State. You want to talk about how much IU needs to beat Kansas? Michigan State really needs this game against Baylor. They really need it. Baylor is 9-0, yet to lose. Michigan State 4-5, but they do get the game at home.
I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Actually, this game's in
Detroit. This game's in Detroit. Give me Baylor. If it was on,
if it was like I don't think it's an on-campus
game. If it was an on-campus game, I would debate. But like, since it's in Detroit,
nah.
Who wants to go to Detroit? Like, give me Baylor. Sorry, I'm playing with this. It's fucking making noise. Texas A&M at Houston. I guess it's gonna be a really good game. A&M 7-3. They were ranked for a while. They're not ranked now. They did just lose to Memphis, but
A&M or
they're still a strong team.
Yeah.
Houston though, 10-0 at home.
It's gonna be really tough.
I'm gonna take Houston. They're really good.
Yeah.
Clemson and Memphis. Clemson is up to third. I didn't even notice this. Clemson's up to. It's been a while since I've done bracketology. I need to do another one, but Clemson's up to 13th in the country at 9-0.
Not bad at all.
Beat TCU, beat Alabama, beat Davidson, beat South Carolina, beat Pitt. But they are at Memphis.
ESPN, I mean, the matchup predictor doesn't mean much, but ESPN has Memphis winning 67%.
I agree. I think Memphis is going to win. They're at home.
I don't know, man. I think Clemson, like, they've been fighting. I think they can take it. I think they can still take it on the road. Right. This will be a big game for them to prove it.
CBS Classic, North Carolina, Kentucky. Every year it's North Carolina, Kentucky. It's North Carolina, Kentucky, UCLA, and Ohio State, I think. So, future Big Ten matchup. UCLA, Ohio State. I'm gonna, who do I want? It's pretty much a 50-50. I'm going to take North Carolina. I was wrong about them. I was talking about how bad they would be, like at the start of the year, about how, they haven't changed anything for their team that sucked last year. But you know what? Getting rid of Caleb Love has made their team better. And adding Caleb Love has made Arizona better. And, like, they blew out Arkansas. They blew out Tennessee. They lost to UConn, but, like, everyone's been losing to UConn. Other than Kansas. We got to play Kansas, bro. Goddamn.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2. God.
I'm going to take UNC because, like, Kentucky's good. They lost to UNC Wilmington.
Yeah,
I can't
that's
take
kind
a
of
team seriously that lost to UNC Wilmington.
That's the straw that broke the camel's back. I feel like for this, that's not the right saying for this, but you know, I'm gonna go with North Carolina.
Kentucky can beat all the good teams they want, but like I'm picking you to get upset in March. Like you lost to UNC Wilmington. I don't know what else to say about that. Are there any other like really notable games down here? Alabama, Creighton. I'll take Creighton.
Yeah.
Creighton's been rebounding well since they lost to Colorado State. But the main event at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the number 1 Arizona Wildcats take on the number 3 Purdue Boilermakers. My friend who goes to Ball State versus Indiana State is before this game. So my friend who goes to Ball State is going to go to the Ball State Indiana State game and then stay for this game. He's also a Purdue fan. He roots for Purdue. So, look, Arizona's been good. They've been really good, but like, okay, they won at Duke. Duke ain't that great as people thought they'd be. Sorry, they're just not. They beat Michigan State. Michigan State is not as good as people thought. They beat Wisconsin by 25. That was a damn good win because Wisconsin has been beating some good teams and been playing really well. Purdue, on the other hand, they won the Maui. I don't know. These two teams have been playing really well. Bottom line, Umar Ballo versus Zach Edey is going to be crazy. Umar Ballo is Arizona's big guy. He gave TJD a bunch of because he fouled him every possession. But last year when IU played Arizona, Umar Ballo would just foul Zach Edey every play. But Purdue is going to have the home court. It's in Indy, but like they're going to have the home court. There's going to be more Purdue fans. Arizona's been playing really well. I don't think they win this game. I think Purdue's going to win.
I think I agree with you. I'm trying to think of an argument where I think like Arizona could lose, but like literally they're going to the other side of the country for this game, so it's like Purdue's right there. They're basically going to have home court advantage, like you said. I think Purdue is going to take this one too. Yeah.
I think teams need to stop playing like neutral site away games. Like, why are we playing Auburn in Atlanta? That's basically a road game. Like, why are we playing Arizona and Vegas? That's an away game. Like, either play an away game or play a home. Like, I don't like it. But yeah, I think I would have to pick Purdue.
Yeah.
I don't know. Purdue's formula is just, oh, you're going to leave Zach Edey one-on-one? We're going to give it to him. Oh, you're going to double-team Zach Edey? But we're going to kick it to one of the 4 shooters we put him with. So that's just what they do. But if they have an off shooting night, they're cooked. They're cooked. And that happens in the tournament every time. And it will happen this year because they always get upset. Sorry, Purdue. But I don't know. I don't like Arizona. I don't like either one of these teams. I've started to take a disliking towards Arizona. I don't know why. All right, we're going to end this stream. I'm going to go home and then come back for the game and then go home. So that's the plan. I hope you enjoyed this season of Bloomington Buddies. Season 3 is now in the books. We are going to be gone for 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Probably at least 3 weeks, just for break and everything. I'm trying to work out the schedule for next semester with all my other shows, so it might be 4 weeks, but let's play it safe and say at least 3 weeks for right now. Well, really, we should play it safe and say 4. So it's going to be a little bit. Next month, we're going to be off, basically. Long story short. But yeah, we'll be back though next semester.
I'll try to get some videos out, maybe. Maybe I'll have, I don't know. I want to do a live stream for Michigan, Alabama. That's gonna be a really good game.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that game. I hate both those teams, but like it'll be such a fun game to watch.
It's gonna be like I'm so excited for this playoff. Like I'm so incredibly excited.
You got any
for this
fun
playoff.
plans for the game?
For the games themselves? No. Like in terms of like where we're going or anything, like no, we don't really have any plans right now. I mean, we always just kind of get together and then we'll like order out food and all that, and then we'll just kind of throw like a day-long tailgate for the game, you know? So hopefully by the time that we get back, next time that we record, Michigan will be a national championship. Michigan against everybody, man.
This guy. I remember my mom let 14-year-old me have like 10 friends over for the Bears-Eagles playoff game.
Oh, yeah?
And then the double doink happened.
Yeah. Not good. Not
right.
good.
You guys have a safe break and
And thanks for the win.
Fuck you. Happy holidays from everyone at Bloomington Buddies.
Take care, guys.